of the person.
Right. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I start recording.
You started
yay.
recording already?
Yes, I just started. So,
All right. Okay, I think we can get started. And let me see
Oh,
how people are
thank
on. Oh, wow, so many people. Hi.
hello
Hey.
everyone.
Hello, everyone. Can you add to the back of your name that who invited you to this meeting so that I know?
How do I do, wait, what am I doing?
You click on the little man, you know, the person, and then you click on your name, and then you click on more, and then you click on rename. And that way you can, I only, like among all of you, I only know a few of you, and other than Bridget, Yenny, Lala Chin, I don't know a lot of others. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I think I did it. Hopefully I did it right.
Yeah, I just need to know who got her, who got invited, so that I can follow up with my leaders.
So Jenny, I think I did it right. Yeah.
Oh, is that Baiju driving?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're okay. Pay attention to the road, please. Do not turn your head. Look, look to the front, please.
I gotta drive too. I'm about to start driving. Bye guys.
Hello.
You too.
All right. So let me see. I'm gonna first of all introduce myself. Everybody can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So welcome everyone to take your time from your precious weekend to come to listen to me talk about this amazing business opportunity. And I hope today, if this talk today can change the rest of your life, I would have done something right. Okay, I hope that's the case, because a little bit about myself. I got introduced to this opportunity about 3 years ago. My name is Charlotte. I originally came from China. After high school, I went to Canada, McGill University, to do my undergrad and then grad degree. And it was during my college days that I got scouted in the streets to become a runway model, and it was because of that. Hey, we're recording? Juju? Are we recording? Okay, we are recording. Good, thank you. So it was because I got scouted, so I became a fashion model, right? So that's how I witnessed my my own transformation from this top left picture, the way I look, to this model, you know, with pictures hung in a business shopping mall in downtown Montreal. It was because of that I thought, oh, maybe I should pursue a career in cosmetics or skincare industry. So that's how I first got interested, and I started to research heavily into this industry. So I read a lot of these books, and you might still be able to find them on Amazon, even though it was like 20 years ago. One of my favorite book, it was that pink book, Color Stories. If you can find it in your local library or on Kindle or whatnot, you can take a look. And that really exposed the dark side of this industry, how you know, penny business it is, because, you know, there are a lot of lipsticks that are sold for, say, like $40, $50, but there are made like fully made lipstick, including the casing, that sells for $1. So you can imagine that the margin, okay, is in these products. So that really astonished me. But, you know, that's still, I thought it was, you know, it was glamorized, you know, it was a glamorous industry on the surface. Even though it has a dark side, it still drew me, okay, into this. But just as so life, because, you know, like Forrest Gump in that movie, you know, there's a famous saying that you never know what life throws at you. You know, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what comes next. So just by a fluke, somehow I got into Wharton School. So Wharton School is one of the top finance schools I know Trump's 3 kids went there, and Trump often claimed that he went to Wharton, but he never did. He was at Penn, but he wasn't a Wharton student. So anyway, so because it's such a heavily focused finance school, so and I met my husband as well. So when we graduated, we just naturally would follow the herd mentality. We all got into Wall Street. So my first deal coming out of Wharton was negotiating with Trump to buy this building, 1.4 billion. It's the office building in Midtown Manhattan. Ironically, Estee Lauder's headquarters situated on, I think, 23rd floor of this building, if not higher, but I forgot. Anyway, so commercial real estate merger and acquisition involves a lot of capital, and it looks, again, very glamorous. You know, we flipped the building in 5 years and made double, but hey, it's not my money, right? So it's the firm's money. It looks very glamorous, but the work, the pressure, you know, and the environment is very cutthroat culture. So it was under this type of you know, environment. There's a lot of young kids, not even like people of my age, because I was MBA grad, so I was already, you know, in my late 20s and 30s. But a lot of kids just came out of college, you know, like from New York City to San Francisco to Chicago to Europe, you know, everywhere. You know, these kids are just, you know, they work the wee hours and sometimes they die on the job. I'm not saying like every one of them die, but you know, I think one die is already more than enough to bring the sort of awareness of how cruel, you know, this type of work environment is for young kids. So I often ask my friends, I said, well, if I were to tell you your kid, you know, this smart kid that coming out of, say, Chicago or Columbia or Harvard or wherever, all these elite schools, and go to these jobs, yeah, they're going to make a lot of money, maybe $100 grand out of school the first year, but there's this remote chance that they might die. Would you send your kid to this type of industry? A lot of parents, I bet, you know, the answer is no, right? So why would we sustain, you know, we put out this type of culture because the frequent layoffs. So then when time comes, and it's really, you know, they're fairly random, and then it's across the board, everybody does it. So this is the treating floor I interned in summer of 2002, and this is what it looks like in 2015, where, you know, the floor is empty. And the reason for that is, you know, computerized trading, decrease of deal flow, you know, competition from, you know, the across the industry, and the, you know, of course, the robotics, the AI is coming. So it was under this type of, you know.
行，你就说让我把那个微信号再发给他是吗？
不是，就是刚才你发。
All right, thank you. So the Wall Street, so the Wolf Wall Street, we laughed when we watched that movie. It was so Hollywood and so theatrical, but the real Wall Street is far darker than that. So all the drugs and the hookers and the liquor and, you know, the crime is all real. Anyway, so it was under those circumstances, you know, my husband and I, we were both working on Wall Street, so I didn't have a baby until I was like 40 years old, right? So until like today, I often say, you know, my only regret in this life is like I couldn't have another baby, because, well, I mean, I can adopt one maybe, but, you know, to be a natural, like naturally pregnant, to have another baby, I just can't, right? So because I already passed my the prime of my fertility. So when it comes to that, you often think, you know, what life is for, right? So I'm going to switch to this this slide here. So it was 2016. Actually, the first time I saw the logo of NUSKIN was in 1992. It was such a, you know, sometimes I think back and felt this must be like meant to be, because I met this logo so early, right? That was because the company was only founded in 1984, and in 1992 I already saw the logo. But that was back in Canada. My roommate's mom was a distributor. I wish I remember her name. Hopefully, you know, she's still in the business. She must be like a gazillionaire by now. But I didn't know what it was. And over the course of the 2 decades after, I encountered, you know, quite a few more times, you know, by approached by the NUSKIN distributors, and I always turn it away because it was like, I don't know what you guys do. There's no way I could do this. Because I remember when I was in college, I had a friend who does Mary Kay. So, and then she wasn't, she was very pushy salesperson. So I really didn't like, what she was doing. And I thought NUSKIN was like that. But, I was wrong, and I wish I could have, opened my mind earlier. But in 2011, when ageLOC Me was first launched, I was approached again, and I still turned it down. And then, no ageLOC Me, there was ageLOC technology launched. And then, but finally what drew me in was because the ageLOC Me launched in 2016. So I waited for another 5 years. So ageLOC Me really sort of shattered all my criticism of skincare, because I did a lot of research, and I usually criticize any jars, creams, and I saying it's open air. As soon as you open it, it's exposed to air, right? So we start the oxidation process, and then as soon as you dip your finger in there, it's going to contaminate, right? It's because the fingers have a lot of microorganisms that you can contaminate the cream inside. So you have to put a lot of preservative. But ageLOC Me, my gosh, it's like this whole sleek looking machine that has like 3 serums, and there's like 2 creams, and it is like micro layering, 40 layers of 3D printing technology, blah blah blah. I was like, wow, that's amazing. That really blew my mind. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a look. So that's what drew me into NUSKIN, to actually wanted to explore more. So, but at this time, I started to look for my family. Because as I said, I didn't have a baby until I was 40, and I was like, what am I doing here, right, on Wall Street? I was slaving myself, slave my life away, and I'm making a lot of very wealthy people more wealthy. I really don't think they need another penny in their lives, right? But they're so rich, but they're, they're still chasing money, right? So I start to ponder what the meaning of life is. So then I start to question, so like, what is, the purpose, what we live this life for? We want freedom, we want a good lifestyle, but and then we want to leave something to the next generation. We want to produce enough income, but what type of impact, right? What's the purpose of us coming to? So this is when I start thinking, I was always in the left quadrant, right? And I was making the people in the bottom right quadrant more wealthy, right? I didn't think I had the entrepreneurial spirit in me to become entrepreneur, because you need a lot of initial capital to invest, right? Because I was so familiar with the commercial real estate business, and anything you do in that world, you need millions and millions of dollars, to put it, you have your own skin in the game before you can borrow anything. But then I never knew, is this on the right-hand side, is this build a network? I never knew what that was. I know the franchise, like Starbucks or like McDonald's, but still you need initial capital, right? I understand, how, what's his name? Bill Gates, people like Bill Gates, or all these conglomerate CEOs, they own other people's money, time, but I don't know how I could have be one of those, to have like this large network without some kind of initial investment, right? So until I realized what NUSKIN is, NUSKIN is really this bridge between entrepreneur and customer, and a system that could bring you that network. And then NPUS Legacy is our team name. So that's how, when you join NUSKIN, you will be part of some kind of a team. That simply just means that you have a lot of mentors, that will be very altruistic. They will come to coach you and to train you, to bring you to speed on your business. So this is very recent, that our team leader, her name is Shirley. So she and her husband, David, Shirley started the business in 2014, and then she started to build her business for 2 years, and then all of a sudden her income took off, right? And her husband is a 20-year veteran of network cybersecurity engineer on Wall Street for one of the major banks. And so he went through all the 9/11, 2008, and then now 2020, you name it. So he was a very good employee. I think he's a VP now. He made very good income, fairly stable, and I applaud his, sort of, how do I put it, this stability not to get laid off or fired during all these crises. He must be like so good. But look at Shirley's income, right? So before 2008, his annual increase of his salary, usually at the banks we do with the CPI, the commercial, what's that, consumer product index, the inflation. Usually it's 3%, but David had like, I think 7 to 9% increase, annual increase on his salary. But then after 2016, it comes to a stall. So I think last year, Shirley said it was only 1.9%, right? And then David is also approaching like his midlife crisis, like he's almost 50 years old. So as we all know, that's a very, dangerous zone to get laid off or, because it's a business decision. Even if I was even if I were a firm, I would say, I would prefer to have younger and healthier employees so that I can pay less on their health insurance. That's a very, very basic sort of reason. But of course, they will never say that. But it's the reality, right? But look at Shirley. Shirley bypassed David's income by year 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she's on exponential growth of her income. So it's amazing that to watch that your income could double year over year, even during this pandemic, right? So that was really, really amazing. So when we saw her pay, we're just like, wow, this engine, this NUSKIN engine is really, really powerful. If you follow our stocks, everybody got hammered during the stock, those like a nosedive during March. I think the lowest points March 18, when the Dow hit the bottom. But what a nice recovery. 2 earnings release that pumped our stocks over. I think the first day was 28% first time, that was the jump, and then another 19% jump on the second quarter earning release. So it really speaks volume that also because our explosion, I'll call it explosive growth during this quarantine time, from like starting from March, April, May, and June, our entire US market is stocked out. Okay, so we want to order products, so we have nothing left. Everything was either out of stock or on back order. Okay, so this type of growth even shocked the corporate. They had to hire a lot more customer services on the phone, and they had to hire a lot of people at a warehouse to package or to ship out products. So I would like to ask, which firm that's enjoying such, maybe other than Zoom, okay, which other firm enjoys such growth? Maybe Amazon too, right? But this is just, is the trend, right? So when we consider any career platform we're gonna uptake, at this time, I would, always think of all these market trends, there's 5 key points, the market, the products, the company, and the composition and the timing. So market trend is really very obvious. So we all know we're in this world that's dominated by the millennials. They already, because we're now in 2020, they have already made up 50% of the global workforce. Okay, and what this generation people, what they like, Time Magazine had a cover story. They're called the me generation, right? It's all about me, my desire, my pleasure, my fulfillment, my feelings. I need people to care about me at work. I just laugh sometimes when I look at this. It was like investment bank. If you're not dead, if you're still breathing, you come to work. Nobody cares about how you feel. But hey, this is a new generation, but this is what they want. So an employer or a platform or a career path, somehow you have to cater to these what they want, right? They will never think, oh, what? I'm going to work for a firm for 30 years and be loyal. Heck no, right? So these people are career hoppers. They hop from one to another and looking for their own sort of satisfaction, and it has to be instant gratification. So this is the characteristics of this generation. It's not something that you can fight for, right? Fight against, right? So And the market trends, we all know the social media, right? I mean, who doesn't have, gosh, how many digital devices? You know, we have like 4 iPads in our house, and God knows how many computers and laptops and printers and whatnot. But social media, I mean, this whole Gen Z, right? This people who were born after 1995. We're not talking about the millennials anymore. We're talking about these kids who grew up with these devices, right? They've been shopping on social media, right? This is social economy. And then they spend 2 to 3 more times more time on these devices than people like our age, right? Like we're old, we're like Gen X, and even then millennials, you know, these Gen Z people, like this generation, they spend more time on social media and social economy. That's where the revenue, that's where it's going to come from. And then the anti-aging and health, right? So this whole world, by 2050, a quarter of the world population will be over 65 years old, right? I think the WHO is redefining the elderly, right? It used to be 65. I remember the boomers, right? The baby boomers, but now, hey, they're the middle-aged people. And I think the new old elderly starts at 80, right? So I think that's a quite nice, you know, change of, you know, try to change the demographics, you know, the distribution. But however you slice it, people over 65 are people over 65. You know, and what these people want is they want quality of life. And who wants to spend the rest of like the after 65, like rest of your life in a wheelchair, right? So this is where the world is going. And then even in China, we're as well, we're seeing this aging, this sort of this tree shape, right? This population distribution. And then technology and communication. I mean, this is, I think it's very self-evident, right? So by technology and how we communicate, you know, how people shop, how they change their habits, you know, everything is not the same anymore, even like today. And I think this pandemic really accelerated that, you know, because all this social distancing. I just went to the store today with my daughter for the first time in God knows how long. And this whole, you have to stay 6 feet behind the other person, you know, I feel bad because it's distancing people even more. Because before I thought that all the social media, you have kids that don't want to go out, they just want to glue in front of a digital device. It's already, you know, drawing distance among people, right? But now this quarantine thing and this virus, and it's not going away, right? It will completely change and forever change how the world functions. We don't know, maybe in 3 years they have some kind of magical vaccination or something, I don't know. But right now, I personally think, you know, by fall, by Thanksgiving, this virus will have another go. I don't know. You know, knock on wood, I hope everybody will be fine, but I hope I was wrong. But it looks like, you know, it's the way how things will go. But anyway, and then the changing workforce and gig economy. Changing workforce, really, I mean, we're not talking about the millennials anymore. We're talking about the robots. Whether you like it, I drive a Tesla. The robots are here, and we are not gonna just competing against the peers, but also the AI. Okay,
邊嘅仲有啊？美去茶，即係嘥錢啊你！邊嘅茶？杯茶，但冇用啊。
All right, so, and the workforce also has the, you know, in terms of full-time employees, we're the gig economy, right? There's people participating in I mean, part-time gigs, right? Everybody needs some kind of, it's called a supplemental income. So a lot of these, you know, all these trends merging together, you really want to think, you know, what type of platform can offer all this type of, you know, all these trends that merging together. And then when there's, you know, we also say change leads to opportunity, right? So in the, well, let's say Amazon, right? How many years ago, right? When we first started all these like digital sort of internet economy, Amazon, Alibaba, you know, Pressline, Expedia, these are fairly pioneers in the old days, right? I can't believe I'm saying they're old days, but the technology just grows so fast, and then you come Uber and Lyft, and all these things have in common. I know Airbnb is bankrupted, but still their business model was very solid, is that what it is all these brands or, you know, vendors, if you will, they offer a distribution network. They are storeless, they're agentless, right? They're carless, and they're propertyless. They don't have anything physical that's in place, right? So when you come to think of NUSKIN, this business, it's also, we are the distribution network. And we don't have to do anything. We don't have to have a physical store, right? We don't have to pay rent. We don't have to build a warehouse or build a, you know, like transportation system, whatnot. Everything is online. And what our products, if you think of all these trends, right? We have a, you know, the company will provide you with a social media. It's sort of, it's called My Site, My NUSKIN, the site that you can send a link to your friends and they can just shop through the link. And actually this fall, we're gonna have a new app called Vera, and then you can diagnose the person's face, you know, with their skincare needs just on the phone using the app. And then you click, and then boom, they all go into the cart, and it's very streamlined. And then the customer can place the order on the spot, right? So we are, for the second trend, we are a leading anti-aging company, right? We cater to, I will show the slide later, we cater to all full spectrum solution for anti-aging needs. And then in terms of technology and communication, we're also on the leading front, and then changing workforce, the gig economy, not to mention, I mean, we're just very flexible. You can define, you can determine however, you know, you want to work at NUSKIN. So these are the 6 big markets, you know, in terms of the weight management, anti-aging, cosmeceutical and beauty, nutrition and supplements. And also there's another thing that people don't know that I don't think is on here. It's called the GrowViv. It's the controlled environment agriculture. That's another very avant-garde leading technology in terms of to conserve the fresh water and soil on the natural resources on Earth, right? So, and then the last one is the scalp, the hair. Sort of this industry is another like 110, I think is 11.6 billion. That's the size of the market. Hold on, let me switch to here. Yeah, so for the, goes back to this anti-aging, for the, in the medical field, it's about 19.1 billion. And for the cosmeceutical and beauty, that market size potentially up to 2027 is $750 billion. We always say is women's money are the easiest money to make, right? Women and babies, right? Because they don't hesitate, you know, for the beauty and for the health of the baby, the parents will shell out anything. And then for the vitamin supplements, we all know how Americans pop in pills like candies, right? So the vitamins and supplements, that market alone is $230 billion. And then weight management, we don't, you know, I'm just saying like in America, I mean, or any, you know, developed countries, and also as well as in China nowadays, there are a lot of, you know, the modern sort of lifestyle fostered really led to a lot of obesity. It's almost becoming a pandemic as well. And it has really detrimental health consequences. But the market for the weight management is $350 billion, okay? And for the hair care is about 116, yeah, 116 billion, I was right. And then the GrowViv I was mentioning earlier, the controlled, it's called CEA, okay? Controlled environment agriculture is about 142 billion. So all these data, I actually have links. If you want it, I will send it to you. So all together, so this is what I call a full spectrum anti-aging. The total size of this market is $1,606 billion. So when we take on any career opportunity, you have to ask, you know, I want to ask myself now, whatever I do next, would that have anything to do with these markets? Or I just want to watch it I just want to be like a bystander and watch it pass by, right? So I want to be a participator or I want to be a bystander, right? So when it comes to product and technology, so these are our top three leading scientists at NUSKIN. One is Joseph Chang, he's our Chief Science Officer, and Mark Bartlett, and he's Vice President of Global Research and Development for Nutritional Products. And Helen Axe is our VP Global Research and Development for Personal Care Products, i.e. our skincare stuff. So we have more than 250 exclusive products. I cannot count how many patents we have, and then the technology. So this S3, this machine that was launched in 2003, what it does is actually it measures the antioxidant level in your blood. So it's first device that could measure, how the effectiveness is of any supplements. Okay, and then the facial spa in 2007, and then the body spa in 2012. It's really it's like a salon, a beauty salon in your hand that you can do all these treatments at home at your leisure. Okay, and then ageLOC Me, the device that drew me into NUSKIN. And look at how sleek that thing is, right? So it's really amazing piece of technology that combines all these three serums that normally cannot combine together, that has them at the most potent level to deliver amazing results, right? And then the LumiSpa, which sold 2 million units in 18 months. Okay, so people can really, I don't know if people saw that news announced by Women's Wear Daily, WWD, a prominent magazine in the fashion industry. Clarisonics has just got shut down. It was acquired by L'Oreal, but because they did not meet any of the sales expectations, it's shut down. So I wasn't surprised, because under a microscope, a clarisonic brush is basically thousands of little blades that will just cut across your skin, right? So people, consumers are not stupid. People can feel what is on their skin, right? LumiSpa, the head is actually silicone, like a medical grade silicone, right? So it's really gentle and it actually vibrates. The mechanisms are completely different, right? So anyway, so I wasn't surprised. I'm glad people recognize the excellence in our products. And the evolution of NUSKIN, really, the company was founded in 1984. So we've been through 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So right now, of course, we're in 3.0. So the 1.0 was really in the old days that we went into. We only started with 13 very modest line of products. And that back then, we already have this slogan of all of the good, none of the bad. Even back then, we already have hyaluronic acid in our products, which is an extraordinary moisturizing agent that somehow later on in the 2000s, people start to become all the rave about hyaluronic acid. But back then, 20 years ago, we already have that in our products. Very modestly looking, even without packaging at the beginning, in those lines of products. And then within 6 years, we start to expand into international markets. And I think the first one was Japan, and then South Korea, and then Hong Kong and Taiwan. And then later on in 2003, it was into mainland China. So these are very big markets. But in 1996, we went public in the New York Stock Exchange. And the reason wasn't because we need capital. It wasn't for raising equities. It was really for the sake of transparency, because the founder was saying, I want all my distributors to know what type of company we are, right? How socially responsible we are, and how transparent and how responsible we are to our distributors. And in 1998, we merged with, we acquired Pharmanex, which is a supplements company that was founded by two Chinese, well, not Chinese from China, but how do I put it? Ethnically Chinese, yeah, PhDs. One worked at Merck, one worked at Wyeth. And one of the doctors, Chang, one is with Dr. Zhou Chang, the other one is Dr. Chang, who was from Taiwan. He was responsible at Merck with research of 100,000 worth of Chinese herbs. But Merck gave up on this project because why? Because they cannot patent it, right? Because all the herbs are what? They're natural. You cannot patent something that grows, grows in nature. So of course, so his name is Michael Chang. So Michael walked away with all these research, results, the outcomes, and then he founded Pharmanex by himself. So it was very interesting that NUSKIN was able to acquire this company for a mere like $4 million, including a 40 scientist team and all the data center and growth center and the R&D center in Shanghai. So I thought that was a really sweet deal from investment banking perspective. That was a deal well done. So in 2004, we reached the milestone of achieving $1 billion in revenue for the first time. And the last year, our revenue was 2.42 billion. And in 2011, well, in 2008, we first started to introduce the age lock science. What age lock is really has to do with the genes and the genetic expression. Not to change genes, you cannot ever modify legally genes, but you can always control gene expression, certain gene expression, especially the ones related to aging process, right? So over the course of past 36 years, every 2 years, on average, we will launch something new. So we always give the distributors something new to work with to expand, right, new market, to explore new frontier. So that's just this is the history. It really, when you look back, it's really, we always NUSKIN is motivated by love, because we wanted from day one, we produce products, all of the good, none of bad, but we excel at innovation. And even in 2011, Multiple Foods, I think a lot of people know probably that magazine is a stock picker magazine, but it rated NUSKIN as the anti-aging's apple. Okay, back then Apple was still innovating, but now Apple's not really innovating, but we still are. So when you partner with NUSKIN, you're actually partnering with all these scientists. Okay, we have 75 PhDs. Okay, they're not Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, they are PhDs. They are experts in their fields, and they've altogether, these data are not up to date, but I know the total patents is probably 36 by now, and they published a lot of scientific articles and received tons of awards. Most importantly is how they behave at peer reviewed, there's peer panels and at these conferences that they are invited by peers. I often tell my team that you can fool people, normal, common people, right? But you cannot fool your peers. People actually know what they're talking about, and they know what you're talking about because they're doing the same type of research at a different institution. So this is our, our ageLOC, this family of products that provides you this holistic anti-aging regimen, right? So on the far right is our very exciting new product that will be launched in September in certain markets, not in the US, but in Canada and in other markets. It's called the Boost. What it does is they'll give you a 2-minute boost, right? So you have your weekly ageLOC, this facial spa, skincare regimen that you have it 3 times a week for the body, one is for the face, one is for the body, and then this is twice a day, the skincare regimen, ageLOC Me, and your 2-minute clean morning and night, just like you're brushing your teeth, and you have something on the go. So you're all covered. How exciting is that, right? So who doesn't want that? I cannot wait to get my hands on that boost. So this is the LumiSpa that sold 2 million units in 18 months and won God knows how many awards, from the design to the technology to the beauty awards, and even the techies and even the team that developed this product that got an award. So it was just, that's how we became. We were ranked by the Euromonitor International. Euromonitor is one of the world leading market research companies. So we were ranked by them as the world's #1 at-home beauty device. And I'm sure this awards are for, they do it every 2 years. So next round will be 2019 to 2020. I'm sure it will be world #1 again, especially with the Boost launching. Okay, so this is the LumiSpa. I'm not gonna get too much into that. And then the amazing results. So all these testimonial pictures, we have tons and tons and tons in every single team in North America, worldwide. I mean, this is our testimonial pictures, to compare and contrast and before and after, right? So as you can see, men or women, older or younger, all had amazing results, okay? So the power of this business is in what? As I'm sure everybody knows, the shaver and blade, right? And the coffee pots and the coffee machine, the printer and the cartridge, and the phones or apps, right? And guess what? Our products are repeating purchase type of products, right? It's like a continuous consumption, because I don't want to buy a pot. I mean, I buy a pot, I use it for like 10 years. I never want to be in that business, right? Or I remember I went to Hong Kong 15 years ago. I bought this like very famous Chinese cleaver. I'm still using that right now, right? How many cleavers can I buy in my lifetime? Maybe 1 or 2. But this ageLOC Me, this cartridges, I buy them every month, right? And the LumiSpa, the head and the face wash, right? Every month I have to buy new ones. And the same with all the gels that come, associate with all these machines, right? I'm sure for the Boost, it also has a little pump of the product that you have to use. So it's consumption, right? This consumable products that it's like offers such a platform that's storeless, rentless, locationless, and in 50 international markets, 24/7. And that's the beauty and the power of this network. Okay, so a lot of my friends, I have friends in all kinds of industries, some of them, because I was in, finance major, so a lot of them are in financial services industry. So I was asking them, for example, if you're an insurance salesperson, how many people can buy insurance every month, right? Probably not. They probably buy one policy like once or twice in their lifetime, or maybe they do an exchange or something, right? So it's not something that's used up and buy new ones, right? So, and that's the beauty. So when you combine that, this is every day something everybody has to take care of their personal hygiene. Even if with robots, I still cannot think, can robots brush my teeth for me? I don't know, like I kind of grow or wash my hair. I'm not sure. I think that is messy, because I still have to physically get it to the bathroom or get into the shower, get in front of the sink and do all these things, right? So doesn't, maybe I'm, it's my lack of, how do I put it, or computerized, science, technology, knowledge that's limiting my imagination. But at this time, I cannot think who can do our own, instead of us, right? Who can do our personal hygiene for us? So that's how, I see when I see such an array of sleek products. I feel so happy every morning. I can't wait to use these products. And for TR90 is another, that's our weight loss sort of champion products. And I personally ran a lot of these camps. Every single month we have a new camp that monitor these competitors to their diets, their exercise, and their weight. And we always have like a award ceremony in the back at the end. Of course, as you can see, how many amazing results we have achieved. The lower left corner is my own pictures, that what I did 2 years ago, and I wasn't overweight by any means, but I've noticed that I've gained about 20 pounds since before I was pregnant, right? So after I was pregnant, I think I thought I recovered pretty well, but then until like 5 years after I gave birth, one day I realized, whoa, I was like 20 pounds over my regular weight that I remembered. That was very familiar with that number. So I decided to do a TR90, and I even if I wasn't that much overweight, I still achieved amazing result. And then on the left side, the middle picture, this lady, she's my partner in TR90. We did it together. She's a mother of 3, and look at her abs a year later. Okay, so this vertical picture is when it's like, oh my God. And then that abs are just really envy of a lot of our team members. So this, the reason why this product is so amazing is because it contains ageLOC ingredients. What that means is targets the genetic expression of 3 youth gene clusters. What those 3 are is, one is to monitoring your metabolism. Another one is to increase your muscle mass and decrease your fat tissue, and the other one is the control your appetite. To not really control your appetite, but curb your craving for certain types of food, especially the sugary food. Okay, so it's really an amazing product to try, and it's I have not seen, and it comes with a age-lock 90-day warranty, and I have not seen anybody has to file that claim. And this is, some of these are Shirley's family members. One of them is, I think that's her older son, and then her husband, herself, and her baby son, right? All of them are NUSKIN products lovers. And then on the right is one of our team members. I think she's 11 or 12, her daughter, that does this video on YouTube. It's just, or on Facebook. It's really cute. So even my daughter now 7, and she knows, oh, LumiSpa's the best. She has her own, the gentle head, because this head can be replaced. You can have firm skin, normal, and gentle, right? So she used the gentle one, she loves it. So that's the thing, is that you enjoy the products and you share, and then you can earn, right? Because everybody now, who doesn't live on social media, right? You post some pictures of yourself holding a cup of coffee. Hey, somebody might buy that cup of coffee, but do you get anything from the coffee shop? No, right? But hey, NUSKIN, you will get a sharing bonus. That's called our daily pay. And somebody buy today, you get paid tomorrow. That's how amazing it is, right? So it's like if you can sell or share 25 tubes of toothpaste per week to retail customers, you can earn $1,000 a month, and that's a quite chunk of change to a lot of people, right? So, and then that's the multiple entry points that's offered by NUSKIN platform, as I was mentioning earlier, is that you decide where you reside in this network, right? If you want to become such a social sharing person, right, that's a social selling system, go ahead, because it's like, oh, well, this piece of shop is really great, right? And then you get this sharing bonus. But if you want to build a store, like an eBay store or Amazon store, right? Of course, not on those network, but have your own, because the company will offer my site. That's the NUSKIN store. You don't have to design your own website, whatnot. You just send the link and people click and boom, you get paid, right? So you can go that way as well. So that's the second portion, second type of our commission, is that it's called the building bonus, is that you're building a store. You're having a lot of flow of products, right? A lot of sales. But the final part is the global distribution network, is that you expand your network, your team, the levels of team that will, that's the system I was mentioning, that Bill Gates, that he owns other people's time, right? That's when you don't have to, when you're at the leader role, that's the time. It's not that you don't have to do anything, but you're being in a management, almost like a management role. But these team, thanks to your mentorship, right, or your different generations mentorship, they will be functioning on their own. And all of a sudden, you're owning a global distribution network. So that's the ultimate goal of our embarking on this journey. So what this company is that we are ranked number 7 among, I think, 100,000 direct selling companies worldwide. We're ranked number 7 as of last year. And we're almost in 50 markets as of last year as well. And the 2019 new figure is 2.42 billion. Now, that's not because our sales went down, it's because dollar is really strong. As you know, we're in 50 different markets. US is the only market that use US dollars. So when you have the same sales, or even more sales, but the dollar is so strong that when you convert it back to the books, to the accounting in the US market, the dollar, the pure value, the figure of the dollars figure will be lower because the dollar is strong. Okay, so we've been publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange since 1996, and we are enjoying 35 years plus of stability and success. And we have created, how do I put it? 1,532 millionaires and above millionaires, okay? Because a lot of them are $20 million circle members. I think in the 1 million alone is over 1,000. So this is a people's platform, and your upline really wants you to succeed. I've never seen a place that, you know, implement teamwork so to the point. This is a true teamwork. Is a win-win relationship, because at the banks, when I was training new people, we always hold back, not just me, right? We always hold back because, hey, I don't want this new person to replace me because, you know, like, or anybody that will climb up, you know, stepping on my head, right? That push me down. So there's always some kind of holding back. But hey, at NUSKIN, my gosh, you know, I hope, you know, everybody can, you know, be better than me, because if you are my team and you're better than me, that means I've done something right? So I really, really want everybody to succeed and to progress, you know, to improve and to be more, you know, like powerful than ever. The better, the stronger you are, the better it is for everybody, for our team as well, right? So, NUSKIN, interestingly, is a very low-key company, but it also it's got so many awards, you know. So just for the best place to work, it won, I think, 5 times. And also our velocity compensation model that was on Forbes. I think Forbes really loves us because it uses us as the role model for all these gig economy payment, you know, compensation system, because we have daily pay, weekly pay, and monthly pay. So you never have to worry, you know, like too much, oh, where's my next paycheck comes, because you know exactly when you're gonna get paid. And to this day, because when we toured the headquarters, we were shown this massive computer room that has all these mega machines that ensures that all the distributors never get paid late. So to this day, 36 in history, nobody ever got paid late. Even in the old days, you know, before all this digital direct deposit, whatnot, the company would FedEx your check. If you make more than $5,000 a month, the company will FedEx your check to you. So that's what our senior leader, when Rosencrantz, was telling us that in the late 80s, when first time she received her FedEx check, she was like, oh my God, I made $5,000 this month. That's how she knew, right? Because if it's less than 5,000, it will get mailed in a plain vanilla envelope. But if it's over, it will come in FedEx. So that's how amazing it was. The company is also very big on the philanthropy side. We have donated over let me think. I'm trying to convert the Chinese numbers. 650, okay, 700 million bags of these vitamils to kids in Malawi and other nations, to make sure these kids I mean, basically I can just read this. We strive to improve the lives of children by offering hope for a life free of disease, free from disease, illiteracy, and hunger and poverty, giving them hope for a brighter future. Now, we don't just donate these bags to their families, we donate them to school. We also sponsor wells, right, to dig a well in the village so that they have clean drinking water. So by donating these meals to the school is to attract the parents to send their kids to school so that the kids can come to learn something while having a free meal. So we always say, you know, teaching people to fish or give them a fish, there's a difference, right? By educating these kids is to give them hope, right, for a brighter future. Hopefully they will learn some skills to ensure they have a better life, right? So we've been doing this since 1996. It's over 24 years of giving. We've helped over 100,000 children. I have to imagine this figure is much higher, and we've reached more than 50 countries. So this is our mission, you know, is to be a force for good. So compensation. So to go back to how we get paid, we're a direct selling company. So what that means is that we skip all the middleman, right? So we don't hire advertising agency. We don't do our marketing campaign, you know, because when I was doing modeling, I was doing, you know, for a brand, I forgot which one, but they hired us. So I was part of the 4 models, you know, they wanted 1 blonde, 1 brunette, 1 Asian, and 1 guy. So that's what my agent was telling me back then, to do this photo shoot. And we got paid really handsomely because, hey, that's what I know. I mean, this doing modeling is great, right? But these agencies get paid, the models get paid, you know, even though we weren't movie stars, but you can imagine how much movie star get paid, right? Julia Roberts get paid $50 million, you know, in 5 years for her contract with L'Oreal. Now, do you really think Julia Roberts is going to use L'Oreal? I don't think so. But hey, you know, she flashed her, you know, amazing smile, you know, mesmerizing eyes, and you got drawn into it, and you buy the products, right? But she never really used it. But the interesting part is also the overhead. When I was mentioning in the book of Color Stories, it was exposed that, you know, for example, Macy's will take 30%, you know, cut. So if any of you have been to, say, outlets, right, you know, I'm in Rhode Island. If you guys are in New York, you know, Woodbury Commons, you know, if you drive through Connecticut, you will come across those Clinton or Tender Mall. You know, Clinton has the premium outlet that has L'Oreal, Lancome's factory store and Estee Lauder's factory store. So in the old days, in the 90s, if you notice, they will be automatically 30% less. Why is that? Because, hey, they're not in Macy's, right? So they don't have to pay Macy's. So that's why they're 30% less, but they're not making a penny less on their margin, okay? So, but in NUSKIN is that we take 42% of our net sales paid globally in 50 countries to people like us, okay? So when people say, oh, you know, I don't want to make money off friends, no, you're not, because they're not buying. You're not Avon ladies. You're not Mary Kay ladies. You don't hold inventory. You send a link, they click, they buy directly from nuskin.com, okay, worldwide. So the company sends them whatever, you don't even know what they buy. But the company pays you because you are the distribution network, because of your word of mouth, because of your recommendation. These customers became aware of NUSKIN products, of this brand, right? Of the amazing results that it could deliver. And that's why they made purchase. That's why company pays you for your effort, because otherwise they have to pay somebody to do this marketing for them, right? So don't worry. I mean, that part is really not, you know, something you should ever be concerned of, because you are not making money of anyone. NUSKIN pays you because of your work, because you post this thing on YouTube, because you post this thing on Facebook. Hey, look at my teeth, 3 shades lighter, okay? Hey, you know, you're sharing and you get paid, okay? So I don't know who hasn't bought, I don't know if any of you know, there's some, what is that? The rebates website, right? They're Mr. Rebates, Ebates, Be Frugal, Smart Wallet, you know, there are a bunch of these websites. You know, remember, you send a friend a link and you get a referral commission. Hey, it's just like that. Okay, you're not making money off anyone. All right. So our compensation, where the money comes from. So I already said a little bit about this part, is the sharing bonus, viewing bonus, and leading bonus. Okay, so sharing bonus is really just word by mouth, right? So you post a post on Facebook, and whoever clicked your link and buys directly from your link, okay, your link will lead to nuskin.com, and the company will recognize, oh, it's because of your link. So you get compensated, right? Just like you post a video on YouTube and YouTube pays you if you got more than 1,000 clicks, or, you know, 1,000 comments, whatnot, or whatever. There's a scheme, and you get paid because YouTube appreciate you for creating that content so that they don't have to, right? So the company pays you, so you could earn up to 38% markup in retail and sharing bonuses. What that means is that you are a wholesaler, and if you put up a link that offers retail price and somebody bought it, hey, you know, the company will give you that margin between retail and wholesale price. Very, very fair, okay? But if people who bought from you and they post another post on their Facebook and somebody else, their friends, bought through their link, you will not get that part. Okay, so that's why it's sort of depending on where you position yourself. If you just want to share, do some, you know, gig, you know, like this is just a part-time gig, just like side job, whatnot, and that's okay. But if you want to make more money, you want to capture all that, you know, whoever, because of you, right? Doesn't matter how far, how many levels it goes down, people bought something from you, then you want to become we call it brand representative. And in the old days, we call it executive. It's just shorter, I mean, sweeter. But now we call it BA or BR or BP. Okay, so brand affiliate, brand representative, and brand partner, blah, 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 right? So BA, BR, BP, okay? So what BR does is really you open your store. And this part is you're gonna earn all your retail profit plus sharing bonus and 5 to 40% building bonus. So if you look at the bottom of all these little box looking things, these are we call blocks, okay? So the sky is the limit. The more you sell, the more you get paid, right? So every block is about 500 PV, right? So the first 1,000 PV, you got 5%. And then the third one, 10, the fourth one, 15, the fifth one, 20%, and so forth until you reach your 8 to 15 blocks, okay? That's when you're above 4,000 PV of the month. You get paid 35%. And then more than that, if you generate 8,000 volume, 8,000 PV volume, you get to earn 40% and until 40%, okay? So this is where we call it, you have this flow of sales, right? The volume, the sales volume, and then generate this building. You're building a customer base. And it's not limited just to your first level that people have direct contact with you. But in order to become a BR, what you have to do, that you have to go through a qualification process. Okay, that process, you can think of it as an interviewing process because it's free to join NUSKIN. Anybody can do it. But if you want to open a store, that means you are committed and you need to show some effort to this company that you have the ability to generate the sales. B, you are willing to expand or do the marketing or do this word by mouth sharing this whatnot for this brand to generate the sales that you need to stay as a brand representative and BR to represent this company. Okay, if you have any questions, please you can type in the chat so I can answer in the end. So right now we have until September 30th, we have a so-called accelerate BR qualification, meaning 3 months, 5,000 PV sales volume, boom, you are a BR. You can start earning this 5 to 40% building bonus. All right, so then the next level is called the leading bonus. What does that mean is that you are now becoming a leader. You are a world or global distribution network CEO. You are your own network CEO. Okay, so that means people under you, they start to branch out. They want to open their own store too because everybody wants to make that money, right? Everybody wants to make that 5 to 40 bonus, right? So when you have a lot of these, then you start to earn the real big bucks is the leading bonus, okay? So there's a lot of literature on NUSKIN website, nuskin.com. You can go take a look. But it's a very rewarding platform. Okay, as you can see, the pay scheme, the percentage stays the same. Doesn't matter how many levels you go down, because in a lot of other companies, they are decreasing. Okay, they're not ascending, they're descending. I.e., you have more people in your bottom generation, but the percentage goes down. Okay, so this is one of the best compensation plan in the business, as we were told by some 30-year-old veteran in direct sale. Okay, all right, so let me see. So the 2018 average commission is such that when you are a BR, which is you just started out at opening your store, you're not making much money. I mean, $500, okay, $500 is maybe a lot for a lot of people, but some may not think of that as too much. But once you become a gold executive or gold BR, that means you have one BR under you, you start to make about $1,000 a month, okay? Once you have 2 or 3 BRs under you, you'll be making this much. This is average, okay? There's a big range, but this is average. This is not median, but average, okay? So you can see if you know some, this concept of this math or statistics, you know average is average. There could be a big discrepancy between the low and the high, but average is this figure. And this is a Ruby. Ruby means you have 4 BRs under you, all right? And your income is roughly about $2,500. And when your 4 BRs has a star, which is a power line, what that means is that this line would generate 10,000 PV a month for you. So think of it as a flagship store, okay? That it would generate a lot of volume for you, then you become an emerald. And then if you have 5 BRs under you and 2 of them are power lines, one is 20K, one is 10K, then you are right here. Okay, this is where I am. I can tell you really this is pretty accurate. So I've been through this whole journey in about 3 years, and I can tell you it's pretty dead on, all these figures, okay? And then for when you have, so this is diamond, and then a blue diamond is when you have 6 BRs under you, and should be 3 stars. And 3 of them are power lines, okay? 30,000, 20,000, and 10,000. And then that's your monthly income, right? So this is the real, so we often say you're not really making much money until you reach Ruby. And you're not really succeeding at NUSKIN until you reach Blue Diamond. So that's my goal for myself, is by the year end this year, I will be a Blue Diamond. All right, so it's, you can make this process as fast or as slow as you want, but I want to be faster. I've been dilly-dallying for a long time before because I was part-time, so I didn't really take this too seriously. And when I took this too very seriously, within, I think, 3 months, I went from here to here. All right, and I've known people to go from here to here in 3 months in our West Coast team. But I also know people go from here to here, take 4 years. So it's all up to you, right? So that's why we say, you know, for millennials, you know, our platform is really a perfect fit because, hey, we're highly flexible. You do whatever you want. There's no boss watching you. I mean, your team, your mentors will motivate you, but hey, you have to really want it, right? You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make the horse drink, right? So if you don't want it, then nobody can make you want it, right? So I really want this, so I want to fight for it. So the beauty, and there's also another part of our compensation plan is really amazing, is the trips, right? So before COVID-19, I mean, this is really unfortunate, so I really hope this will go away soon so that we can start traveling again. So we have 2 free trips per year. They're called success trips. So what you do is you qualify, right? So I've been to Ireland, Africa, and then I've been to another, not Bermuda, but the South Caribbean, 8 days, 7 nights, you know, 4 islands trip, and then Sydney for free. Sydney, we didn't go because of COVID. It was supposed to be in April. It was truly amazing. I've been to so many of these trips. It's all expense paid, and the company will also give you all the swag, you know, the goodie bags. Everything is taken care of. There's, you know, just all inclusive. It's truly amazing. You know, like I used to, when I travel, I used to, I'll plan all this and the hotel, whatnot. I mean, for NUSKIN trips, I never have to think of anything, right? So it's always very organized. You're picked up at the airport, you're shuttled or, you know, chauffeured to your hotel, and then you were given very clear instructions, you know, what night was the program of the day, of the night. You can, and there's also a lot of freedom, a lot of leisure time. You can do whatever you want. And then people, and the company will, you know, arrange, you know, tour guides, those one for you if you wish. So there's really, it's a very, very flexible. So I miss the trips. You know, I just qualified for Waikiki as well. Unfortunately, that one was canceled because the Hawaiian tourism office will not allow anybody, like 1,000 people descending in Waikiki. So we, you know, we had to cancel that, which is a shame. But, you know, I really wish everything, you know, I will not go back to normal, but at least we could travel because I really want to travel. And also, this is all Shirley's pictures. She's been to, I think, 11 of these trips. Oh, on top of the 2 times for regular distributors, if you are a team elite, means 1 level above Blue Diamond, there's also a team elite success trip. So that makes 3 trips a year. And then we also have annual conferences. We have a North American conference in September or October on the even years, and on the odd years, we have the global convention in Utah typically. So I mean, this year I'm so withdrawn because by now usually I should have been to at least like 3 trips already, but this year I cannot go anywhere. But hey, the whole world is like this, so we just have to cope with it, right? So finally, we really want to ask ourselves, you know, the lifestyle. What we call the type 5 lifestyle. What that means is that we want to have all these freedoms, right? Financial freedom, time freedom, health, and family, right? And then not to do also the location. You don't have to be chained to a desk anywhere. So wherever I go, you know, every trip I take is a NUSKIN business trip, right? So as a small business owner, you think about the tax incentive, you can expense everything, not just the NUSKIN, the success trip, of course, that's free, but anything, every trip I, you know, like every car ride I take, you know, I drive to the grocery, hey, I can talk to the checkout lady. Hey, that's my NUSKIN work, right? And my trip should be expensible, right? So we're in over 50 markets worldwide. So wherever you are, you just open your mouth, you talk about, hey, do you know NUSKIN? Let me tell you about this business opportunity. Boom, that's a business trip, all right? So, and timing. So we're really in a very interesting point, because when I joined NUSKIN was ageLOC Me launch, okay? And then I witnessed LumiSpa launch. And now we're at the Boost launch. So it took 10 years for the facial spa to sell 2 million units sold, but it only took 18 months for LumiSpa. So can you imagine how long it would take for the Boost to reach $2 million units sold, right? So we're in an acceleration phase. And in the next 5 years, the US beauty device market will triple in size. That translates to, I think the figure was, I'm trying to, because the Chinese numbers are different from the US. I want to say it's $110 billion, okay? That's the market size for beauty devices, not makeup, not the skincare, but just beauty device. And guess who's the #1 in that market right now? NUSKIN, okay? So I often ask people, so you're taking on a business platform, does that offer you an $110 billion market? Are you gonna be a bystander, or are you gonna be a participator? Okay, so ask that question over and over. So what do you do? So what we offer is support and training, free monthly training events. It used to be in Utah, but now it's all online, on Facebook or on Zoom. And then we also have live daily Facebook training groups. And there's also always the personal team supports. That means is that your team, like for example, our team will have a lot of trainings all the time. Any questions you may have. And then your uplines are all your coaches who are mentors. You can go up, not just your 6th generation, but more than that, okay? And also in OTG, so this is screenshots of our OTG Facebook page. And then we have Team Elite University, TU, right? So they will tell you, and then also what's more fulfilling is really that your personal growth, you know, because in this business, we are in the people business, right? So I remember when I went to Wharton, the first thing I learned was you're not, you know, you don't have to like the person. You just have to be able to work with them, right? But at NUSKIN, that really, you know, hit me home, right? Because you know, at corporate America or at the banks, whatnot, people I work with are people have been filtered. You know how they're filtered? They have to be interviewed by HR, right? They have to have certain qualifications. They have to have a business degree, or they have to have a CFA designation. They have to be CPA and whatnot. So all these people have been molded by some kind of education, right? But at NUSKIN, I really meet people from all walks of life. And that, the ability to be able to work with them and to build a team with them to build a successful team with them. That's a real challenge. And I found myself that I've grown and matured so much since I embarked on this journey. And I, become a better person, right? I become more patient, I become more respectful, right? And to work with these people and to reach a common goal, because their success is my success. All right. So how to build your network? You can start part-time like I did, or you can go all in, right? Full-time. And then in the end, it's your leadership and your leverage. You leverage what? Leverage time, right? Because like I said at the beginning, you own these people. That's a very blunt way of putting it, but you leverage on other people's time. That's why the income is always leveraged income as well, because we only have 8 hours a day. But if you have 10,000 people under you, then you have 80,000 hours per day. Now that's the power of multiplication, right? So what's the next? So you can sign up for a free account. In the US, we're very fortunate because in Asian countries, there's a fee. But here, hey, it's all free, right? So, and then you decide you're starting your strategy, right? You talk to the person who invited you here today. You figure out what's your strategy. You want to be part-time, or you want to be full-time, or you want to be a social seller or store owner or a global leader, right? So then you can literally really launch your business in 5 minutes, right? And then you can start to qualify for the next success trip. What's that? Is Punta Cana is our next success trip. Okay, so you just need to open your door for your new business. So this is the lobby of our headquarters in Utah. This is if you go in from the front door, this is what you see through the back. That's the logo, the giant logo of NUSKIN. Now the building is designed by the same architect who designed the Fifth Avenue Apple Store. So that's why when I first went to visit, I was like, wow, this is so airy, like so modern and so stylish, So I was wondering, wow, I was very impressed after I learned who the chief architect is. So that I think concludes my presentation. I really hope this is helpful to all of you. And like I said, we always say, remember, this will disclose my age, what's her name? Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow had a song says, change will do you good, right? So one day when we were in, I think it was last year when I was at the global convention in Utah, in Provo, Utah, and there's this lady from New Zealand, she said, if you don't change today, what will happen in your life? But if you do, what could happen? Right? So imagine what NUSKIN could bring you. And once again, like the Forrest Gump's movie said, right? Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what's coming next. So I hope NUSKIN is in what's coming the next, because even though you never expected, but I can assure you it will bring you a really amazing and fulfilling journey. Okay, thank you everyone. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Charlotte, there's one question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see in the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't see. Okay, I don't see the chat text. How come I don't see the chat?
Which is
all included. Okay, what's the difference between a sharing block and a qualifying block? It's the same. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, because the sharing block, when you're qualifying as a BR or as an executive, you have to have, sharing block is any block that you personally, your personal sale, your first direct contact. Remember that, let me go back to that screen. Where is it? Where's my, hold on a second. I think I got rid of the picture. That sharing block here. Hold on. Remember when I said you need to anything these people buy, those are your sharing block. Sharing block is your direct contact. But when you qualify, when you started your qualification, like this person sell to this person, this block, like here, these blocks are called qualifying blocks, but they're not your sharing block. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. My question is, I just recently LOI'd and it says that I have 2 qualifying blocks, but that I
Yes.
need like 4 sharing blocks. And that's where I was confused because I thought I was building those sharing blocks.
Yes, your sharing blocks are also your qualifying blocks, but sharing blocks are more specific because it has to be your direct selling blocks. You're sharing, like you are personally sharing with this person.
Right. So when I send that little invite
Yeah,
where they can sign up,
yeah,
that's a sharing block. So those qualifying blocks that I have, even though they're my first direct line, they're also a qualifying block, correct?
correct. Let's say you
Okay.
sent, okay, let's say you sent to A signed up, and then A bought something. That's your sharing block. But then after A bought something, he said, oh, this thing is so great, I'm gonna send the link to my friend. Now, his friend B bought something too. Now, that's not your sharing block anymore. That will be A's sharing block. Does that make sense?
Yes, but B would be my qualifying block.
Correct, but now you're sharing.
Okay.
Sharing block has to be, just think of like a, like arm length, right? You have to be able to touch it. You
Right.
have to be personally sharing that sale because you're
Right.
personally sharing. Yeah,
First-
like you go to
first
somebody's house.
generation.
Yeah, you did a product demo, and they said, "Oh, I love this," and they got online and bought something right away, and that's your sharing block. They have to be your first generation.
Okay, I thought I was understanding it correctly.
Yeah.
But when I logged in on under my back office, it
Mhm.
didn't show that I had any sharing blocks, and I think that's where my confusion came from because it just showed that I had qualifying blocks, and I wasn't putting together the difference and why they were so different.
Yeah, sharing and so qualifying includes everything, right? And sharing is
Okay.
more specific. Sharing has to be your first generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That's what I was thinking, but I got confused when I didn't see the sharing blocks underneath it. I just saw the qualifying.
Yeah, so if you're doing this accelerated, you need to talk to Helen to make sure that you meet all the criteria.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's what I'm gonna try for.
yes, yeah, no, you can do it. It's the best way to do it, to become a BR, to start making more money.
Okay, and I have through the end of September, correct? If I
Yeah.
LOI'd in July.
Yes, it could, July, August, okay, you're right on, but yeah, so you should shoot for that 3 month.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. Thanks so much.
No problem. Any more questions?
Charlotte, I'm gonna stop recording, okay?
Okay.